welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a speed build for you. It's going to be under $20,000 here. So that means that it's going to be a great little starter place for any sim to live in because you do start out with enough. This is also the house that's going to be used in my Fantasia Uglacy challenge, which you can go ahead and check out at the link below. I just released the first episode for it, and there's going to be many more to come. So the first step, though, is to get this house built for her. So it is going to be customized toward her, but it really comes out quite nice and can really be used for any sim. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. All right, let's go ahead and move this mailbox right out of the way. I'm just showing you the neighborhood. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. She's got this cool little trail back here in the back of her house, which I'm just showing you now. And so I want to build the back of her house back toward that trail facing it because I'm kind of picturing some glass doors back there that kind of lead out that you can easily access that trail from. I have her here living in Mount Komorebi, and this is the new neighborhood here that came with the Snowy Escapes pack. And I've never actually had a sim live here. It is a beautiful world. I love all the attention to detail they did. They put in so many plants and rocks and gorgeous stuff. So I just built pretty much her whole house here is it's going to be one more room, and and that's literally going to be her house. So we have to really keep this kind of small because I am trying to fully decorate, excuse me, and furnish her house, paint, walls, everything with just that 20K. So it's going to have to be this tiny little house. And this right here is going to be the front of her house. And that's going to be her bedroom. So when you first walk in, I don't want you to just walk into a bedroom. So I'm going to make this other little tiny room here so that it kind of just makes you feel more like you can walk in instead of you're just walking in on a bedroom. I'm going to go ahead and put some stairs here on this porch I made. I like the stone look a lot. I usually go with the stone look unless I'm doing a modern build, but for this one I'm going to be trying to do kind of an Asian-ish inspired build because there's a lot of really cool items that came with the new pack that I've not even used yet, and she's in the new town, so I figured why not just go for it. I'm going to use this cool fencing here because it's more private, it's more closed in, and then I'm also going to use it here when you first walk in. Instead of having a wall, it's going to feel more homey. It's going to feel like just cooler to walk in and have this fencing here instead of this big giant wall you have to walk through a door and then you go into somebody's bedroom. But no, you can kind of just walk in, you see the whole bedroom, but it's more private that way. I don't know. I think it looks nicer. I'm going to be using these windows a lot here on this build because they're super cheap and they're nice looking, I think, anyway. They're pretty big. They almost take up the entire wall, and so that lets in a lot of light, and that makes it feel a lot bigger inside than it actually is, and it just makes it have just ultimately a better look all around. Going ahead and doing the foundation here with brick because I'm liking those brick stairs and I kind of want to go along with that look here on the outside. I have no idea what I'm going to paint it yet. I never can figure that out until the very end. I am going to throw in this ridiculously funny looking bed just to give me an idea of where I'm going to set things up in the bedroom. And then I'm going to move on to doing windows. I love putting windows in the houses, and I'm using the cheapest of the cheap windows here so that she could still have some light and some like coolness to her house without spending a complete fortune, because when I get started doing windows, I usually do them everywhere. I love having windows in the Sims houses. I will literally put them on every single wall and have no room for like art or anything like that. But since I have a budget here, I'm going to try to keep it to the minimum. She's already got 5 windows in her house, and I'm going to try to keep it like under 10. Let's go with that because we are using those tinier windows, and on those tiny windows I kind of like to stack them or like spread them across the wall so that they look like art almost if you're on a budget. I went ahead and put in a little back patio walkway piece here, so you're not just walking out on stairs, you're walking out on something. And it's super, super tiny. We're going to call it our tiny porch. And I'm using the same stairs. I didn't like the glass sliding doors. I love these Asian-y inspired doors, and we're going to go with that. I love the gray look for this house. I'm really feeling the gray colors. Going to go with that for the windows and doors for the most part. Inside the house, I did use white doors, but that was just because the other doors were more expensive to get the gray. So eventually, I would like to replace those doors. Um, didn't really like the same fencing for the back here because it's such a tiny little porch that it makes it feel very closed in and just claustrophobic feeling. So I used this half, well, more than three-quarters of the way glass fencing, and I feel like it really kind of opens it up back there and makes it look friendly and cute and like you want to walk outside and then walk right back on that path that's right behind her house. I really wanted to go with a candle look here for the lights outside. I didn't like any of the options I had here. I was about to go with these candles, but then I felt my build would start looking very gothic, and I tend to go very gothic with my builds a lot of the time. So instead, I picked these more expensive candles from Island Living, and I'm going to use them on the outside of the house. Definitely splurged on those. They're $215 each. So that's going to be like our big ticket item that we kind of splurged on, and everything else is going to be a lot cheaper. um, the next thing we're going to do here is build an ivy wall. I really like this ivy wall. This girl is going to be a gardener, so it's going to be kind of more planty, gardenish looking around this house than another house might look. But anyway, for any sim, this is a really cute ivy wall. And it's not very expensive, so I like how it looks a lot. I think it brings a lot of character to the house. And on that wall, I wouldn't be putting any windows anyway because inside of that wall is her bathroom. So here I make a mistake and I'm building on the foundation for her garden fencing. So make sure you build that on the ground. um, Gonna go with this cute archway. I like this archway. But I do feel like the garden needed to be bigger a little bit, so I went ahead and just moved this wall out one notch and gave her a little bit of a bigger garden. And then I'm going to throw that archway in there. And for this particular challenge, she's supposed to have a big giant tree in the middle of her garden. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find like a nice big tree that fits in the garden that's really tiny, and also doesn't like completely overpower her entire house because it's also really tiny. I really kind of wanted to go with more of like an evergreen looking tree, but it just didn't fit in there. I really like this other tree here. It's an elm tree. It's cute. It's huge, but it's not too big for this house. I feel like it really kind of fits this house. So we're going to go ahead and just put a couple of furniture type items in the house, in the inside. I am going to do the whole outside of it last. It's usually how I do all of my builds is to do the outside last. I don't know why. That's just how I do things. Usually I go back in and like fully decorate and everything after the whole thing's been built, but since I'm doing the video, I really wanted to go ahead and lay things out and figure out where I wanted everything first and get the decorations in and make it look all super cute for you guys. So we are on a crazy budget here though, so it's not going to be as cute as I might like it to be, but I will try my very best to make this cute. Also, how I just put that trash can in there, I just pressed and held the Alt key on my computer and just moved that trash can wherever I wanted it so that you don't have to worry about it only being in a specific spot. Um, I didn't learn that for a long time. Well, I've been playing Sims for many years, and I just learned that like probably last year. So yeah, it's really improved my builds and made everything look a lot nicer and me not be wanting to pull my hair out because I can't put something specifically where I want to put it. So it's a super helpful tip. This kitchen is definitely coming together. I love this screen because it feels very Asian-y. I'm going to throw that in the living room for now because it does not fit in the kitchen. This kitchen is just too tiny. And there's just like nothing I can go ahead and put anywhere because I don't think I could even spend the money on it. I'm thinking I'm going to put just this mirror in here, and you're going to notice I'm going to use quite a few mirrors in this build because it is a tiny build, so I want to open up the space just like with my windows open up the space. The mirrors really do as well because they just are reflecting. And I'm going to put, look at me, putting a window across from a mirror. Of course. But it really does do a lot. Like, look how much light that just brought in there. It really does a lot to open up your space and make it look more cozy and make it not feel as claustrophobic and tiny. I really wanted to put the snowflake up here, but it ended up being huge and it just didn't really fit the space. So instead I used this cool little pile of rocks. I thought it was kind of cute. And we're going to leave the kitchen now. I might come back to it and add a few touches to it, but we're going to go ahead and work on this bathroom. I would like to use a more expensive toilet, but I figured, hey, let's just go for the 250 and use the absolute cheapest toilet we can. And she needs a full shower and tub because she has a dog, so that's why I put in that full shower and tub, even though it takes up a lot of room. And look at me. I just put a window on a wall that I said I wasn't going to because that's the ivy wall, and I didn't even realize it until now. So I'm going to have to go back in this build and move that. But if you do download this from the gallery, it's going to have a window right there. So you might want to just take that and move that to the other wall on the left there. Whoopsie. I'm going to try to put in a cute plant here just to give it something else in this space. And we're gonna just rotate this toilet and put the plant right there. Perfect. And I went ahead and put a rug right there in front of the bathtub. Didn't cost a lot of money. Did not like this yellow look for this bathroom. I want to keep this. I used a little bit of custom content right there. I apologize. I shouldn't have used that. I am gonna upload this to the gallery though without that custom content there, so that you can have a version that's completely completed for you. I'm going to replace that wall. Sorry about that. I totally didn't realize I was using that. And I had a lot of trouble with the lights in this bathroom. I just didn't like anything. And I didn't like the placement of it either. It's just so tiny in there. It was really hard to pick something. So I ended up going with a more expensive light for this bathroom, simply because I couldn't decide on what I wanted. This one was quite a bit. It was 170 for one. So I got two of those in there. But I thought they ended up looking really cool. And of course, got to throw another mirror up here. So going with the yellow mirror. And that bathroom is definitely complete now. And I think I'm going to work on the living room next. Gonna throw a dog bed in here. So this house is dog friendly and ready to go if you do have a sim with a pet. And throwing a dog bowl in the kitchen. Didn't like it there though. Moved it on this far wall because there's nothing there and I didn't have plans to put anything there. I'm gonna throw a dog ball also in this build. So go right ahead and move your sim in with a dog, or don't and delete all the dog stuff. I don't really care, but it is dog ready. So I move that screen now into the bedroom because I kind of have a vision for the living room and I don't see that screen is going to fit in there, even though I really love it. This is one of those new couches that I was just showing that the custom content creators put in our game. Thank you, Sims, for finally using people that we like to put things in the game that we're actually going to use. There are some awesome objects that they just put in the game, but I don't think I'm gonna use any in this build because they just didn't fit with everything that I had going on. Um, Trying to mess with this screen again because I loved it so much. I put it right there, but I think in the end I ended up taking it out just because it made it feel just too cramped and tight in the space. So go ahead and put a little table in. I wasn't sure what table I was going to use until I saw the snowboard, which is totally perfect. She's going to be skiing and snowboarding a lot, and this is also just goes along with the build. I thought it was super cute. It's got mountains on it. I'm going to be putting up like some paintings that have mountains on them for sure as well. So, gonna go with a big rug in here. Definitely. I love using rugs in builds. I use them all the time, even before I have my floors on in there. I kind of match my floors to my rugs sometimes because I'm so attached to the rugs that I use. And I'm gonna go for a big pot. I was thinking I love this pot and I wanted to use it, but I ended up not being able to find a plant that went perfectly in there. And then I saw this little like orchidy looking plant and I love that one so much more. And it had the same pot, but you can change it and make it white. So I love that one. And then went with that instead. Here I am putting the floor in because I want it to go with my rug I just placed. And I really wanted to use this confetti glitter in this house, but I felt like it gave it too much of a little kid vibe, and I wanted it to be kind of more modern, Asian inspired looking, so didn't go with it. And I'm also going to go ahead and put a big painting over here on this wall to take up the whole wall. I really wanted it to be like a mountain over here, so went ahead and found a mountain with snow on it. There we go. Love that painting. Love how they're all those separate little paintings all in one. It's so cute. I wish I had that, but just for Sims. Like I wish I could have that and put that behind me and just have it like all painted with like Sim stuff. That would be perfect. Oh, I lied. I do use one of those new pieces here. I love that new chess piece there. So that's going to be her lamp over there. And can't just have just the one lamp. So I went a little bit like crazy and I put in a whole lot and then I took two out. And that saved $120 right there. So I think that was a good decision. Definitely didn't need all those lights in there. I also, like, I love my windows. I love my lights. And I use lights all over the place because I love having good lighting and being able to see, like, good graphics and everything that's really fully going on. So here I am putting in some flooring on the outside. And I end up not even liking it and changing it later on, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that later. Going on to the bedroom now. Putting our paint on the walls. Yes. It's looking so cute. It's very gray. Oh, here I go using more custom content. I'm gonna switch that out for you guys too so you can download it. Yeah, the house is very gray, but I ended up putting in like little pops of color everywhere. Like you see the dog bed is blue and the bed is yellow, which I end up changing to red, and this room is kind of has like a little red theme going on with it, which ends up looking pretty cute. The kitchen is kind of more gray and subdued like that, but I think that that gives it kind of a cool modern-y looking vibe, and I ended up really liking that. I thought I was going to go with this yellow rug, but I really liked the red and orange look, and that's what made me want to change the bed, and that's what made me want to go with the red look in the bedroom. Because we already did go with the yellow look in the bathroom, so I kind of wanted to make it a little bit different, and here I go with another mirror, making it red as well. And then I'm going to just do this entranceway here with a cool Asian-y picture that I find that I eventually decide on. Nope, there it is. And I am just going to make it a little bit bigger to fit that space better. And putting another rug here, really tiny one just in front of the door. I thought I wanted something white, but it ended up looking a lot better in black, so shrink it down too. I wanted it to kind of fit almost perfectly to that door so that it had a little like hanging off extra, but looked like you come in and wipe your feet on it. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's why I picked black too, just to offset that room a little because it was turning very gray. And here we are working on the roof. I hate roofs, guys. I'm the worst at doing roofs, and I can never make up my mind on like what I want it to exactly look like. So I always play around with them, and I end up just getting like this big collaboration of roof pieces everywhere. But I think on this one I did pretty good. I wanted it to have that kind of like what is that? Like in I want to call it inverted where it sinks in a little bit. But I wanted it to have that look because I feel like that's more of like an Asianish look towards this house. I want to extend that all the way onto that fencing right there. I thought this looked super cute, and I wanted to just throw a little window in there just to open it up again. There I go with my windows. I forget how many windows I'm up to now. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I'm over. I think I'm definitely over the limit I gave myself. I love windows. Call me the window queen, guys. All right, so here we are putting in some columns. Columns are a big thing. They make your build so much better. I love columns. I used to build completely without them because I was like, what is the point? Why am I going to waste money buying a column for my house? But it really brings the house all together. Especially if you have a porch like this, you need to use columns. All right, I'm crazy. Yeah, you could tell. But no, but for real, the columns really make it look so much more realistic. Like if I didn't have those columns there and I didn't extend my roof there, you'd be like, ah, that doesn't look as good. I think it just made that whole back area look so much better. Just putting those simple two columns in. And yeah, they are $45 a piece, and they are on the cheaper side of the ones that you can get, but these ones are super cute and they're modern looking, and it just gives the house more of like a realistic feel. Like you could maybe find this driving down the road in real life. Here we go, decorating the outside now. Loving this wood look, loving it. Usually I always go for stone on the outsides of my houses. Don't ask me why. It's just always what I gravitate towards, and then I end up making more of like a gothic looking house, like always. My candles and my stone. Yep, that's what it turns into. And here I go. I was trying stone out, and I said to myself, no, I can't do stone because it's just not gonna have the right look. So I tried it, and then I was just like, nope, I can't do it. I took it out. I did use this black siding though, just to break up this area a little bit and give it a little bit more dimension. And I really loved how that ended up looking right there. Um, because I also used it on the top there on the roof, and it just kind of gives it a little bit more color without making your siding look like you were trying too hard, kind of thing. I went ahead and changed the stairs out. I didn't end up liking those stone stairs. I didn't feel like they fit with the outside of the house after I had put them in there. Love this white railing here. I feel like it goes really well with that fencing and the columns. Wanted to go ahead and put a little pop of color in here just to have something a little offset because it was getting a little dark in there. So I think yeah, this blue and white is just ended up being perfect. And all right, moving on now. Outside of the house is done. I am going to keep that brick on the foundation. I thought that looked cool still. I'm gonna mess with the terrain a little bit, even though I am the most horrible person when it comes to terrain. I have been trying so hard to get better, so don't judge too hard on this terrain here. Judge the rest of the house, but not the terrain. I went ahead and made it like just around the whole house. I kind of just lifted it up a little bit here and there just to give it a little more dimension. Just something else to look at, make it look a little bit more realistic because no house just is on like a completely flat lot. Like it just doesn't happen. Um, yeah, but I don't press my luck when it comes to that whole terrain tool. I kind of just go simple with it, like here and there where I can, and then I just move on because I could literally be here all day and then my house would either be on the top of a mountain or it would literally be in like the biggest ditch you've ever seen. It has happened before. So I try to just do a little bit with it and then I just let it be and I'm like, okay, it looks good enough. Let's leave it like that. I do love my terrain paints. I use them all the time. I went ahead and put this like stone looking grass around the whole entire house just because I thought that was super cute. And I'm working on now the dirt in the garden. So I still wanted her to have some grass in the garden because it is like a cute little whimsical garden, and I wanted it to still have that feeling to it. So I kind of just made little paths of dirt so that she could plant some plants on the little paths there of dirt. Is kind of what I was thinking going for that. It was hard. It was so hard to see. I should have just taken that tree out so that I could see better, but yeah. There you go. That's the garden there. And I would have put in so many more plants had I had the money, but I really wanted to keep this under the budget here so that if you went and got this house, you could put a couple things in still if you needed to. I also wanted to put in some lighting around the outside of this path I'm making now, so I wanted to have a little bit of money for that as well. So now we're just going to do a walkthrough here of the house. I'm starting from the back of the house just because I thought it was kind of cooler looking coming in through the back, and you just saw more that way. So you can see all the nice painting up there, the little plant in the corner, the snowboard table. Here's the bathroom. It's very tiny. There's really not much to show. Sorry about that. And then here we go with the living room, that new little lamp over there. The dog ball right in the middle of the kitchen, the whole little kitchen, the fireplace. Love those stones up there. And then you keep going right into the bedroom with the mirror that opens up the room, the candles, give it a little ambiance with the windows, and then that cool little fencing right there that separates this little entranceway. You go right out, and here's that cool sofa. And then you walk down. I added some lights along the pathway, so I had to just finish up this video today for you. Sorry about that. So you just missed the little ending bit. I added in just a birdhouse. I added some lights along the walkway, which you'll see. You saw that right there in that video. And I'm going to put some pictures up of the house just right after this that you can look at and you can see the whole thing. And again, this house is going to be available for download on the gallery. My name is SimsNatic4 if you would like to download it. And it's available for everybody. And I'm going to take those custom content walls out of there so that you can have that in your game. I'll replace it with something as similar to it as I possibly can find. And then that'll be up, and you can go ahead and add that to your game. If you do, make sure you hashtag me on Instagram, SimsNatic, and you can also follow me on Instagram. And please subscribe on YouTube if you liked this video. And also look out for my next video, which is coming out on Wednesday. It's going to be volume 2 of my Fantasia Uglacy challenge. I'm really excited about that for you guys to watch that. And I've got a lot of great videos planned that are in the store for you coming on up. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button, the little bell, so that you can get my notifications when my new video comes out. And if you would be ever so kind, give me a like and leave me a comment below. And you have a great day. And I hope you enjoyed my video. Okay, bye.